sharing the space with us, and we will start. Right. All right. So just a few housekeeping tips for those that are online with us today virtually. We are asking everyone to please keep their mics muted. And if you have any questions, we will be more than happy to answer those. You can share them on the chat. Or if you want to vocalize them, we'll be more than happy to address you if you use your little virtual hand that's available.
Speaking of questions, those of you in virtual, can you raise your hand if you can hear me okay? Perfect, awesome. Thank you, Mimi.
I like that you match your shoes and your shirt.
Thanks.
Well done.
Thank you.
This is some serious stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right? That's game.
So we want to welcome everyone to College of DuPage. We are honored to be here today, especially, hosting here with our very good friend. And we really appreciate everything Bruce does with us at the ROSC. He's been a member for many years. He's a person with so much experience, over 30 years of experience in this field. He is also the person who is the director of the CRSS program here at College of DuPage. So we just want to introduce Bruce. And Bruce, please share a few words.
So a couple of words, because it's not about me. I've been in the field for a long time, former CEO of a not-for-profit light and family service in the SHARE program. Ended up a month before I retired, got the opportunity to run this grant. So I still maintain all my contacts. So it's good. So I get to give back to the industry without worrying about payroll. So that's a good thing. This program, I think, is life-changing. It turned the formal CRSS program, I think, in many ways, turned the formal mental health and substance abuse programs upside down a little bit, because it's kind of rigid and very kind of top-down heavy. So this is kind of more of a grassroots, bottom-up. I think ROSC has done so many incredible things. So enough about me. Maybe a few words from a couple of my students. I don't know. I know we have an agenda. So
Absolutely, we'd love to.
How many do you think we might have time for? We've got a couple of volunteers.
We need 3 or 4.
Okay, Sarah, you want to start?
Yeah, hi guys, I'm Sarah. What do you want me to?
No microphone.
You can talk a little bit about what the program and your aspirations and.
Yeah, so I'm in my first semester. I'm taking 2 classes, one with Bruce and Liz, and one with Sunny. I am loving it. I do kind of already have my foot in the door with NAMI Metro Suburban and NAMI Illinois. But I'm doing this program as a way to expand my network, more or less. Bruce and Sonny have brought in some amazing people from the community, giving resources I've heard the name of, but I didn't know the ins and outs of their programs. So I'm really excited for that. And I'm just looking forward to using this opportunity to continue growing. The mental health recovery field is a big shift from what I used to do. And this it feels right.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jason, do you want to say something?
Sure. I'm Jason. The way I found out about this program was interesting, actually. Before I personally went into recovery, I was thinking about going into this field, actually. It's a little strange, I guess, when you're like in need of recovery, thinking about going into helping people in recovery, but hey, you gotta have goals. And so I was actually in an outpatient program, and 2 of the interns there, who were great, were coming here for their CADC certification, and that kind of is what piqued my interest. And so when I started to look at the human services program, I came across this, and I had to I remember I was sitting with my dad, and we had to reread it 3 times. I'm like, what? Wait a minute, what, you have to be in recovery? It was like the perfect, just one of those things when you're reading, you're like, this is exactly what I want at this moment. And it's done nothing but, this program's done nothing but confirm exactly what I was thinking about wanting to go into this. But I just love that we have this unique opportunity as the CRSS to be on a peer level, because I think a lot of times when you go into any kind of a treatment, it's very hierarchical and you're like, okay, this is the doctor. Do I want to listen? I don't really know how I feel about this. Has he ever experienced anything, or he hasn't experienced anything I've ever gone through? Whereas we can look someone in the eye and have that conversation, and that's huge. That's huge. I mean, you know, in September, I hit my year sober mark, and there are people, and there's some others in the program that I've come across who like there were rumblings about, yeah, I think there's this thing at COD, and I'm like, I'm in it, like, and it's real, you know. And I know, and there are some people that I met when I was an inpatient who live like further away, who are now in this program. Another one's coming in the spring semester. So like, it's getting out there, but it really needs to get out there. The fact that there's a wait list for this is really important, I think, because that means not only is there an interest, but it's creating more of a need for not only people to work here, but the field, right? So I'm really happy to be here. It's the first time I've been able to be at one of these in person and not in there. And yeah, thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me. Mark and Don, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, my name is Don. I'm a person in long-term recovery. I recently retired from the corporate sector, took an early retirement back in April. And I've been, very active in the recovery community, for several years, in and out of various treatment centers where I go in and I meet with clients, and I share exactly what I'm learning in the CRSS program, that aspect of peer support. So sharing my journey, sharing my hope with them. And so again, being in retirement, retirement for me isn't, golf all day long. It's what's the next chapter for me? What do I want to do with my life? And when I was exposed to the CRSS program, it seemed like a natural tie-in to what I'm already doing, just trying to make it a little more of a formalized process. But the education I'm getting here and the tools I'm getting are just tremendous. So it's taking what I've already been doing, already have a passion for, and again, giving some real structure to it and giving me some real good tools that I can continue to do this, moving forward, as I said, in my next chapter in life. So I'm just grateful for the program and grateful for the instruction and grateful for the peers that I'm meeting on the journey.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you for sharing.
Mark?
Yeah, I'm Mark, and I'm in recovery 2 years today. Forced recovery, thanks to King County. But through inpatient, I found smart recovery. And I still attend, I become a facilitator there. So I have my own meeting on Tuesday nights. And at a meeting, a guy was talking about this CRSS stuff. I took a screenshot of it, he put it in the chat. I sat on it for about a month. So I dialed it up one day, pulled it up on my computer, and there it is all over the state. Like, man, oh man, this is something. And you gotta be in recovery. Who would have thought my tale of woe can help somebody else? I mean, that's the last thing. We were going so far down the hole, there's no way out. And so yes, I brought it up on the website and put it in my initial email into Jason, sends it back to me, and you go through the whole thing and in recovery. Yes, I didn't think you had to be, but I guess you do. It's been wonderful. I started in January. In my last semester now, taking 2 courses. I'll end up with 2 with Bruce. It's been fantastic. Wow. And a lot of the education that I get here, I'm using my meetings for smart. No resources, videos, things that we learn here that we are now getting that I never knew about. And I can take that and bring that forward to people. So I'm already helping people out. I got a whole page of people that stay in touch with. They stay in touch with me and I stay in touch with them. How are you? It's wonderful. Really. They can go from facing prison and helping other people. It's just, thanks to Bruce, thanks to the whole program. I promote it every chance I get, and over at Villareal, where I'm at in Arlington Heights, until we run our smart meetings through. We probably have a half dozen people in the program. We're coming out, all by talking about all that word of mouth. How do you get in it? You go a little bit. Some people, some people. Word of mouth. And our tales can help people out. God bless. What a saving grace.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Do any of the other CRSS students want to say anything?
I'm Richard Loser. I just am amazed every day that I come to this program. It just confirms that I'm in the right spot. Everything about this program is just so familiar. I've been through 2 rehabs and I've had to navigate a lot of the system on my own, and it sucked. And I'm just really excited to be able to finally be able to help somebody in a way that, I can feel good about myself at the end of the day. So
Definitely.
Hi. My name is Margot. I'm new to the CRSS program. I am in my 2nd course. My lived experience is in mental health. I must be completely transparent. I do not have lived experience in substance abuse, but I have been completely blown away by learning how important it is to get to understand the shared journey experience of those who do have it, and the learning about the stories of those and the courage it takes to disclose that has been eye-opening. So thank you for being so open to share your stories with that, because I'm sure it's going to help me as I go out to help others. First, do no harm and then seek supervision. So Bruce has been my hero in that, because I think we share that much of it, right? He's shown me that that was his story too, and what he had to do in order to benefit when he many years ago had to learn that way. So this has been an invaluable program. It's opened new doors of opportunity for me, because now I'm learning I'll be the HOP facilitator for the COD program, which is big.
Wow.
Yeah, so thank you, everyone. This is exciting. This is a passion project for all of us, and I wish you all much success in your journey.
Thank you. You know what? And I want to put in a plug for the DuPage ROSC. Jared always tells the story, and I know he's listening. I met him on a Saturday afternoon working at KYC, and he came up to me, and I was representing the agency I was the CEO at. And he said, "You want to join a ROSC?" And I said, "What's a ROSC?" And so he told me, and I said, "I'm in." And here we are many years later. I required as homework for my students, because the thing I'm trying to do, I'm not just teaching content. I want to plug you guys in. We only have students for 4 semesters in a 300-hour internship and then move on. So this is huge. The DuPage ROSC and now the Kane ROSC is a recovery-oriented system of care. It's a grassroots movement that is making changes that needed to be done by people that the expression is nothing about us without us. So it's nice to be a part of it. And I thank Blake and Annette and Jared, who's probably watching and smiling now, for being there that Saturday, because here we are many years later saving lives. We've got people here from the DuPage Health Department, Scott Kaufman, one of the many dots that I connect in my life, and I appreciate everybody being here. So thank you very, very much for coming here.
We appreciate you hosting us, Bruce.
Yes, thank you so much.
Much like you guys, I have a similar story. My name's Blake. I was an addict for 17 years, still an addict now, but have been clean for 5 years. And while I was in treatment, I was trying to think of why I had to go through all of the pain and suffering that I did, both that life saw fit to visit upon me and that which I made for myself. And the only thing that I could think of that would give validation to all of that was using that experience to help guide other people out of similar waters. And since then, my life has been the most meaningful that it's ever been. And I absolutely love doing this.
Thanks for sharing, Blake. I'm Annette, and I, as well, am a person in recovery. I advocate all the time, and I'm very proud of being a person with co-occurring, conditions, right? I don't like to call them disorders, conditions. And so I myself have been in recovery for over 5 years. I don't really keep a time frame, and I just love what I do because I love giving back what I've received, and I just love helping everyone, and I love living my recovery out loud. So being here, joining the ROSC, working with Serenity House, and with all my partners that are out here, I just want to say how honored I am and how proud I am of being in this field with you guys. So then now we are going to go into our presentation. Today we are going to be speaking about and taking a deep dive into vape shops. I know we're all very familiar with vape shops. I'm a person who personally does not visit vape shops. So I kind of just look at them when I'm passing them up. I don't have a lot of experience inside vape shops. How many people out here in the crowd have any experiences going to vape shops? Okay. So you guys are a little more well-versed than I am. But now that we are touching on that topic, there's many mysterious things at vape shops. So we are going to be discussing especially certain items that they sell there. Jake is going to be presenting for us, and he will talk to us and give us more information.
All right. So my colleague Jarrett visited several vape shops, and he was talking with the owners, and here is a general temperature and thought process behind the products that they sell. It's kind of a gray market. There are a lot of substances that you can use to get whatever sort of high that you're looking for, and they're all perfectly legal. When you visited the Wheaton smoke shop, how many of you have heard of 7OH? 7OH is blowing up. The owner of the Wheaton vape shop said 7OH is the most popular item in the past couple of months. Kratom was always a big seller, and for a while, they had a couple who came in and was buying nitrous oxide daily. In Naperville, we started carrying Kratom before some other shops, so we built a customer base around mostly Kratom. The Kratom distillates are really popular, the little shots, so like Viva Zen, Feel Free, stuff like that. Oh, and people buy a lot of the Feel Free shots. Villa Park. We get a lot of samples from sales reps and distributors, and they try and tell us what the new stuff is going to be. We only try to sell natural items like Kratom and cannabis, and I will touch on that in a bit here. Madison. I tried selling Kratom, but our store is smaller than some of the others, so we don't have a ton of room. But I mostly carry cannabis-related stuff, deltas, etc. We sell these little pre-rolled joints that are popular. Downers Grove, 7OH and Kratom. Lots of 7O currently. We have customers who come in multiple times per day to buy it. We are thinking about limiting how many we sell to someone in a given day. That's a rare instance of having some integrity or at least awareness from a vape shop. I did a presentation on 7O a while back, and when I was researching it, I'm so happy that it was not available when I was using, because I would have burned through so much money. West Chicago. The owners didn't want to speak much, but did tell me that his neighborhood and community is largely Hispanic and they don't experiment much past cannabis. And those were the vape shops that he visited. There was a vape shop in there that was talking about the deltas. I'm going to do a little bit on that now. Who's heard of Delta 8?
The neon signs. I
The
don't know
neon
what it
signs,
is.
exactly, from the outside.
Gas station.
Yes.
It's never been easier to be a drug user in America than it has been in the past. Not only do we have cheap fentanyl flowing across the Pacific and up from the south, where you can get a counterfeit oxycodone 30, aka perk 30s, for $3 a piece in many major US cities. But if you've never, I have a horrible typo on this. Just a second. All right, but if you lack the street cred or know how to buy drugs on the streets, it's wildly convenient to go to a vape store where you can find a dizzying array of substances to get you to whatever heights you want to see. One of these convenient and unassuming substances is Delta 8 THC. And side note, I'm going to be spending time talking about Delta 8, but this also applies to a lot of the other THC analogs that they sell, like THCA, THCP, THCO, MMC, or MHC. Now, despite cannabis being legal in many states, the rise of hemp flower, concentrates, edibles, and other products laden with Delta 8 has been dramatic. The rise is not because the novel cannabinoids provide a better user experience. This is mainly a cost-driven factor. The taxes associated with commercial cannabis products can be prohibitively expensive in some jurisdictions, and Delta 8, along with THCA, are a far more affordable option. And now we have massive displays of Delta 8 and THCA products for sale at every vape stop and gas station across the US. But how did we get here? In one sentence, the Farm Bill of 2018, since that's going to answer 0 questions.
The Farm Bill.
The Farm Bill of 2018 provided support and stability to US farmers through various programs, such as improving crop insurance, maintaining disaster programs, and a few other things. But there was a notable amendment to it that allowed US farmers to grow hemp plants as a cash crop free and clear. They could do this so long as the THC or Delta 9 THC, and here I have a photo of both Delta 8 and Delta 9, which is the THC that we all know and love. The only difference between these two molecules is the double bond between these two carbons. They have the same molecular weight, the same chemical formula, and they are incredibly similar to one another. So long as the THC or Delta 9 THC was less than 0.3%, the hemp plant and the cannabis plant that makes the products you can purchase at the dispensary and get high off of were able to be grown and sold without issue. There's a number of uses for hemp products, and the bill is generally viewed positively for both producers and consumers. The difference lies in their phytochemical profiles. Hemp naturally contains very low amounts of THC and high amounts of CBD. The pot that people grow for recreational and medicinal use contains large amounts of THC. Sometimes certain strains will be bred to grow high amounts of CBD, and both containing trace amounts of various other cannabinoids in varying concentrations. While the Farm Bill was positively received, never doubt the ability of a profit motive to contaminate and defile an otherwise decent thing. It was not long before unscrupulous vendors discovered that the wording of the legislation made no provision for the regulation of Delta 8 containing products, nor is there any existing legislation that regulates it. Caveat here being the Federal Analog Act. Given how similar these two are, I don't know how they get around that, but they do. Crafting legislation to ban Delta-8 did not make much sense as the cannabis plant naturally contains very little of it. All right. The hemp variety of cannabis is naturally high in CBD though, and through a little bit of chemistry, CBD can be synthesized into Delta-8 cheaply and easily, and on an industrial scale. This trivial chemical process opened up the largest unregulated commercial drug market the US has ever seen, and in a manner that is 50-state legal, no less. Starting around 2020, you could find Delta-8 products in every vape shop and gas station across the US, quickly growing to a $200 million a year market. But what is Delta-8? Delta-8 is an isomer of THC. It has the same chemical formula, molecular weights, and differs from THC only in one of its carbon-carbon double bonds. In THC, the bond is between the 9th and the 10th carbon, and in Delta-8, it's between the 8th and the 9th carbons. Now, a tiny change in chemical structure like this does not necessarily mean that it has the same effects. They could be very different from one another, but for Delta-8, they are similar. Users will often report of Delta-8 as being more mild than THC, often reported as a sort of diet weed. With the effects being a little less pronounced than with THC, it's a bit of a silver lining in this. We do not have the same level of harm being done as we had with the JWH compounds back in the spice and K2 days of the mid to late 2000s and the early 2010s. However, there were still over 200 reports of people submitting themselves to the emergency room after ingesting Delta-8 products with symptoms such as hallucinations, vomiting, tremors, anxiety, vertigo, and confusion. The Center for Poison Control logged approximately 2,300 cases of incidental exposure to Delta-8, with 40% involving children and 70% being advised to seek medical attention. There have not been any reported deaths due to Delta-8. There was one report that I could find where that was a contributing factor to it, but not directly responsible for it. Many of these Delta-8 products are sold as all natural or organic, with a strong implication that they are indeed safe and natural. In the early days of their popularity, a few manufacturers even listed positive health benefits like pain relief, alleviation of cancer symptoms, and some other claims, which then brought them to the focus of the DEA, or the FDA, sorry. In May of 2022, they issued 5 warnings to manufacturers to cease their operations within 15 days or face legal consequences. The FDA was making a statement that they weren't messing around with this unregulated market and the health claims being applied so recklessly. And right there is a bit of an issue with Delta-8. It's not regulated. When researchers wanted to investigate Delta-8 and see how much water the claims of being all natural held, when they ran spectroscopy analysis on the products from major Delta-8 brands, they found that it contained heavy metals like magnesium, chromium, nickel, copper, zinc, mercury, and lead. In addition, they also found trace amounts of the reagents that were used in the synthesis of the Delta-8. Any amount of heavy metals in the body is bad news, and we normally have stringent requirements for the allowed levels in commercially available products. But when things are unregulated like this, you're placing your faith in the morals and values of the company to self-police with that. The spectroscopy analysis also showed that the levels of Delta-8 were of varying concentrations and not necessarily representative of what they claimed on their packaging. It's not necessarily a bad thing in it. That's not necessarily a bad thing in itself, as you're just getting less of it, but it's symptomatic of larger issues with quality control and standards. If you can't even get the main selling point on the product itself, like like the quantity of the Delta 8 in it, how are you going to get the contaminant and heavy metal part of it right to make sure that it's not in there? This is a burgeoning market that is only going to continue to grow, especially in states without a legal cannabis market, and we're going to be hearing about it more and more. Now, all of this is also colloquially related to something called spray pack. And before I move on, here is a sampling of the various products that contain Delta 8 that you can buy at the vape store. All the same products that you can get legal cannabis in, you can find with the Delta 8.
Ripping off.
Can you go back down? Yeah. So like you can really see why kids are getting intoxicated, right? Little children. I mean, the packaging kind of like it looks like candy. You know, and the packaging, and even for parents, right? If we are not aware that our children are partaking in these kind of products, we can easily see like how fooled we can be if we're walking through a room or, you know, we're looking through their bags. You're thinking, oh, this is a bag of Skittles.
Chocolate chip
This
cookies.
is chocolate chip cookies, you know, because now we have to, you know, we also have to figure out, you know, how we make, you know, adults aware of these products because now they're in different forms, right?
Well, was the last sentence you said, like, these are sold in dispensaries as well with that form of Delta 8, right?
I don't know if they're sold in dispensaries, as I haven't been in one, but I wouldn't see why not.
Believe it or not, they're actually not because of how regulated dispensaries are.
Oh, that's a good
So
point.
that's
yeah.
where you actually get that legitimization through legalization of marijuana and all the licensing and all the regulation. These are gas stations.
Yeah, you're right, you're right. Yeah, they
So,
wouldn't be.
wild west of retail, unfortunately, you know, and again, I don't, and just a quick opinion, I don't believe that they're trying to get kids hooked. Adults like candy. It's clever gimmicking that we, again, attract to the advertising. The unfortunate side effects are, if I have these in my backpack and my kid is curious, he's going to go for what looks like sour gummies, and they're not trolleys, right? And that's where we obviously run into a huge red. Sorry.
No, you're right. That you made some great points there.
So the FDA doesn't regulate this?
No. The one time that they've stepped in was when the manufacturers were making health claims on their products. That really got their attention because the FDA doesn't tolerate any of that.
Throw in some B vitamins.
It's legal to grow the hemp plant so long as it has less than 0.3% THC.
The little loopholes, exactly.
These products, you can have as much Delta 8 in there as you want, and it's 50 state legal.
In the presentation too, he is right. The other day I was walking in the market. No, I was at Walmart. And at every corner that I turned around, there was either some donuts, some candy, and I'm like, these people are just, they're not selling nothing healthy. You know? They're just trying to level up your sugar, your diabetes, because every corner you turn, it was candy, donuts, you know, nothing healthy. I'm like, yeah, America's going down. Right?
You didn't go to that salad gas station.
You went to the wrong gas station.
Looking around for healthy foods, but a lot of it, I mean, honestly, at least in Walmart, it's like a whole bunch of junk food.
No, you're good.
That's another question. Are you saying that like Delta 8 and THCA are both in the same form, or are they two separate?
They're two separate chemicals, but they're both 50 state legal. They both come from the hemp plants. For Delta 8, it's made in machines like this.
I'm not even trying to, because I read that like there's a lot of THCA in like the pre-rolls and things that they're selling in the dispensaries, and it's like the percentage of it, it's like 33% THCA with 1 point something percent THC, so therefore they're still able to kind of like sell it in that form. So that's why I was just wondering if that's the same.
I don't know what the Illinois regulation for the amount of THC that you can have in a product and not have to have it be sold out of a dispensary.
THCA is raw cannabis before it's lit. Once it's lit, it's THC then.
But it doesn't hold like a harm in the sense of like the way the Delta 8 is right? Because
There's no chemical in it at all.
right, it's just the raw,
Yes.
cannabinoid molecule.
Now, all of this is related to something colloquially known as spray pack. Now, I'm sure a vast majority of you just asked what the heck spray pack is. And in a nutshell, spray pack is a common cannabis product that can be found for sale in both legal and non-legal states. It can be both the Delta 8 type of cannabis as well as regular old cannabis. Whenever you see a product for sale like this, and I'll put some photos up. These. This is spray pack. And a surefire well to know that spray pack is by the flavor of it. There is nobody on the face of the earth who is growing pot that naturally tastes like Twinkies.
That's not gonna work.
So they do this by taking raw cannabis and putting it into a machine and then infusing it with terpenes. And they will load this up. They can walk up to a screen, press a couple buttons, walk away, and it will infuse any kind of flavor or terpene profile that they want. And some of you also might have a question about what a terpene is. A terpene is an aromatic phytochemical compound that can be found in lots of plants. They are what gives cannabis sense of pine trees, citrus, or peppery notes, and what makes pine trees smell like pine trees. There are a number of them that are present in lots of plants and in cannabis. They possess pharmacological properties of their own and contribute to what's known as the entourage effect of cannabis, in which the concentrations of various terpenes work together to alter the pharmacological profile of different cannabis strains. They're not intoxicating in their own right, but they do contribute to the specific intoxicating or medical profile of different strains of pot. Cannabis producers or sellers will take normal cannabis or hemp and load it into the hopper of the machine, like this guy is here, and then they will select whatever terpene profile that they want for it. There's nothing inherently dangerous about ingesting terpenes, but they also inject artificial flavors like sweet tarts and Twinkies. And there are no studies that have been done on the combustion and consumption of artificial flavors in that manner. We have no idea what the long-term health effects are. And we run into the same issue with regulation here and relying on the integrity of the terpene manufacturer to hold themselves to limit heavy metal contamination. As I had briefly mentioned in the beginning, there are a number of gray market cannabinoids that are used and sold in vape shops and gas stations like this, which is THCA, THCP, THCO. But if one goes away or gets legislated, there are more ready to take its place. As I've spoken with the owners of vape shops, I've learned that some of the vendors they use will either mail out physically or electronically a newsletter that will talk about all of the upcoming products that they have. So they're already prepping for legislation against a lot of this. I have not been able to obtain a copy of these newsletters, but I've been trying. I really want to know what's on there and what they're looking at. Outside of the cannabinoids, vape shops have been selling products that are hallucinogenic, or at least purported and claiming to be hallucinogenic. I've started researching and poking around a little into these for a presentation I'm working on, and the active ingredients in these products are all over the map as far as chemical type or family. Some of them do everything they can to obscure the ingredients, listing proprietary blends that lack information about the weights or dosages of the ingredients. And they will try to obscure the chemical names in much a similar way as calling water dihydrogen monoxide. If you haven't been to a vape shop, definitely go and check one out. You will be surprised with the amounts of products that you can find there. Whatever kind of high that you want, except for stimulants. That's not super popular right now. I think after the bath salt days, not many manufacturers are selling that, and most of them have been scheduled. Back to you. Yes.
I'm kind of a money, follow the money guy. Who are the major players? Are these major corporations that can afford lobbyists and are really behind keeping this stuff the way it is? Or are we talking, some one-off rogue manufacturers located elsewhere?
I don't know for sure, but my gut tells me both.
And what you said, right, it sticks out. It's you can't keep up with the science. Will always create a new letter.
Yeah.
So you can do all the lobbying and all the, again, all the political machine does not move overnight. And that's a good thing in some ways, right? But again, that's like he's saying, that newsletter, they're always 3 steps ahead. There's 3 in the cut waiting. And just a matter of, again, they're going to come out and do all this work towards getting rid of that one. And conveniently, there are 2 more, all they're already on the shelves.
Sounds like there's money behind it. I mean, yeah.
He said it, $200 million, a year, I'm sure, and that's increasing every year.
That was years ago too, when it
Right.
first came out.
Totally. It's probably $1 billion industry by now.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Does anybody else have any questions? Anybody out in the virtual world have any questions?
I mean, this is such a tough thing to frame messaging around, because the conversations around dispensaries and stuff like that are good conversations about like be aware of what you're taking when you go somewhere like that. But I think the implicit, this is something that is not a dispensary, that isn't scheduled, like it implies, oh, I don't have to go through as many hoops because I'm not going to a dispensary. It's therefore at least a little bit safer because it isn't as regulated. It's really, really hard to explain exactly like you did just now. Like there are reasons why that is the case, but that's a 25-minute conversation. And when it's like, the person is just telling you like, yeah, I just go to the vape shop. It's like, oh, but it's not like, so it's really a difficult thing to approach for exactly that reason. And I mean, I gotta be honest, we're having a tough time keeping up with not just the names of what they're gonna be and what like overdoses look like from some of these, but keeping up with the, like letting people know that just because it's available at a place that doesn't require a bunch of information like a dispensary does not make it automatically benign.
Right. Absolutely. That's even more obscured when they will have things like all natural and organic on their labels.
I mean, I consider myself, I've got a good eye for stuff like this. I think if I see Skittles, I would be able to pick out that one's a fake. But the one that you showed a little bit ago, that was like, it was like literally a Sour Patch where all it said is like medicated, and then the bottom it had like a cannabis. Like that is the difference. It's really, maybe I'm just not as good as I used to be at identifying stuff like that anymore, but it is nuts how close to like traditional packaging they get and are sold at gas stations.
Well, that's just like copyright infringement, which again, I'm surprised. And that's why your best route on that is really, again, intellectual property. You paid for that logo and now you're just changing one letter. That's typically illegal. But I mean, again, I'm sure they're just constantly changing and
for sure.
Yeah.
And not that I'm like Mr. Nestle, I love, like, what a great corporation, but like, if they're gonna exercise their legal might, can we do it on trademark infringement? Come on.
So I just have a question for our providers out there. Have you seen and like an uprising in clients with, with these type of substance issues, in regards to like 7-OH and Delta 8?
Yes, 7-OH, 7-hydroxy, definitely. And it's been interesting because people who you would think would realize, oh, that's related to kratom or whatever, people that use kratom, and oh no, I found something new, when actually it's just a more potent, fancier,
same body, new face.
Kratom. So, and I have a gas station by mine. I just to check it out, I went and there was 7OH all over the place and Delta 8 and nitrous, big things in nitrous. You could just grab them and wow.
There is any way, like agencies like us, that we test the clients that we have?
Yes and no.
No, I've asked.
There's not specific tests yet for 7OH or Delta 8, but they are so similar chemically that it's been reported some of them will test positive. But like some of them don't
Positive for
too.
what? For cannabis?
For kratom or for cannabis, depending on whether they're using Delta 8 or 7O.
But you don't know that is this stuff.
It's hit or miss with it. Some tests will do it, some tests won't. It could be down to their individual body chemistry too.
Right, and we've seen where, again, like experienced heroin users, long-term kratom users, where again, 7O came into the market, they thought, wow, this is, kratom on steroids. You talk about a huge regret real quick, but again, stuck in the loop, the withdrawal, the tolerance. We're talking about, literally within a 3-week period, going from the vape shop once a day to returning 5 times a day, spending $200 on these bottles of energy drink, right? They come in those little, like the 5-hour energy, and again, it's this, when you're in that withdrawal process, this isn't about like making better decisions. This is you're stuck, right? And the withdrawal symptoms that we've seen in the ER, I mean, are just, they're just, they're actually worse than in a lot of cases, or harder to get off. And I do believe we've seen some progress with MAT as a transition, right? Getting to something more controlled, safer. But again, just this, it's kind of like, I'm sure Bruce knows, it's like the Wild West of Wild West. I mean, it used to just me and your day, right, man? Like we pretty much only had a few items on the menu, and now it's hard to keep up. It's spooky and scary.
Thanks for sharing that. So, we'll move into the portion now of announcements. We want to thank you, Blake, for sharing all that great information. Everyone got something out of it. And again, Blake will be around if anyone has any questions after the meeting. Danielle, do you have any updates on our course programs?
You want me to come up there or?
Come on, Danny.
Whatever's more, however you like to do it.
Right. Hey, everybody. My name is Danielle, and I coordinate the CORES grant at Serenity House. CORES stands for Community Outreach and Recovery Support. We bring recovery support services to 8 counties in Illinois: DuPage, Kane, Kendall, Will, Grundy, Kankakee, McHenry, and Lake. We primarily focus on unhoused populations, or those at risk of being unhoused, those who are incarcerated or at risk of being incarcerated, and those that struggle with substance use challenges or at risk of substance use challenges. A couple key things that I want to highlight and kind of shout out that we've been doing with the CORES program is we've been working really close with the Kankakee courts. We've been working with their drug court and their mental health court, and we have coaches down there 2 days a week for each court that can help with coaching for the participants in those programs. We've also been working very extensively with DuPage probation process court clients, and we have multiple coaches that do recovery coaching with multiple participants in those programs as well. And a couple support groups that I'll highlight that we're running right now. We have a Smart Recovery meeting on Wednesdays at Stony Brook Center, Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. Right here at Stony Brook Center, right down the road from here. And on Saturdays, we also have a hybrid Smart Recovery meeting at Serenity House, as well as after that meeting, a hybrid refuge recovery meeting at Serenity House. If anybody wants more information on any of that or more information on the CORES program, we have an info flyer in the back, or I can send it to anybody on Zoom. I could put my email in the chat. And yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you. Excellent. And so, from DuPage ROSC, we are announcing that this month, we will be officially launching our community assessment survey. We will greatly appreciate it. We will be sharing it with everyone in our partnering organizations. If you will help us share it with your clients and your community. We really are focused this year on harm reduction, justice-involved recovery, and stigma reduction. So we are hoping that we hear from our public, right? We need the public's feedback so that we can go back and, talk about, certain points that where we might be lacking or where we might be overachieving that. So we're gonna be appreciating everyone's help. And then I will open it now for our partner organizations. If anyone has any announcements or anything coming up, we would love to highlight it for you here. Dr. Holster?
Yeah, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Steve Winsford. I'm the Substance Use Medical Director for the DuPage County Health Department. And I used to be an ER doctor at Delnor and then switched over to addiction medicine 5 or 6 years ago. And now I'm just doing addiction medicine. And you probably heard that we opened the CRC on September the 2nd. But the withdrawal management unit has not been open, primarily kind of pharmacy hiccups and so forth. But it's going to be open next Tuesday, right after 12. So we're very excited about that. So we have 6 beds, and so we'll take care of generally the main withdrawal players of alcohol, benzos, and opioids, 24/7, 365. We're really excited to be able to.
Do you have a card?
Yes, yeah, I have a card. Sure.
Steve, to add that plug, there's no county requirements being a resident of the county.
So they're free.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can help me. But the meetings that I'm in, people are like, hey, if your crisis.
It happens in the county. It happens in the county.
Yeah, it happens in the county.
Perfect.
That's exactly right. And so the withdrawal management is what, that one is opening next Tuesday. But currently, if anyone has a mental health crisis, youth or adult, that is open for support currently. So same deal. If the crisis is happening in each county, they can go to the covers. Yeah.
And that's 18 and over?
The withdrawal management, yes. Yeah.
Okay. But the crisis?
The mental health crisis, they've got a youth unit that is, I think, 5 to 18, and then adult that's 18 and over.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Since I am talking, I will also mention, there you go. I'm giving a Narcan training here at COD in the, I think, Homeland Security building next Tuesday at 4 o'clock. I think a lot of people here are probably Narcan trained, but since we've got COD people, I will be happy to see you there. Yeah, I mean, it will be a good time. I was gonna hesitate saying but yeah, we'll do a Narcan training, but also resources in the community, and I'll be there and happy to answer any questions you got.
Thank you.
I have an announcement. The Awakenings Project, the COD chapter, is going to have a 2-week run at the Wings Gallery right across from the library. We have an opening reception October 20th from noon to 1 p.m. It's mostly comprised of people in the CRSS program. Every piece of art in there is made by someone with lived experience.
Very cool. Awesome.
Have you done that? Like, I'm sorry about that. In ECC, we did that for the students in the CRSS. For the graduates and the one that are about to, we came out with an anthology book.
I heard about that.
Yeah, and
You guys are doing a live show.
A lot of
We're
stories.
doing live and we're having a gallery catalog. I'm not printing, you guys printed 500 copies. And bound them, so that's pretty fancy.
Yeah, they were nice. That sounds cool to have a live show too.
Yeah.
And that runs for 2 weeks, Bruce?
For 2 weeks, October 20th through the 30th. I'll give you my card. I'll send you the flyer.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'll go and I'll make an announcement. Sorry to shift gears. But my name is Erica Ravillas. It is DVAM this October. It's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, so we're doing an awareness walk on Saturday. If anybody's interested, it's at Eric Lake. I can provide the information, all the flyers and everything that. But just we'll be doing different events throughout the month. I just wanted to kind of announce that as well. We'll be doing a donation drive on the 27th at a Roosevelt location and at our Downers Grove location. But we are accepting donations, before that date. So if you guys are interested in any of the events that's going on, please contact us. I'll go ahead and I'll put the event calendar and get this in there. Definitely.
Hey guys, Mark Matthews, CRSS, CPRS. I just want to make everybody aware, I work for Greater Family Health. If you've never heard of Greater Family Health, it's pretty much this. We provide quality healthcare non-contingent on the ability to pay. So again, right, someone needs to see a doctor, someone's not feeling well, someone needs their shots for school, someone needs help with substance use, medically assisted treatment, behavioral health. I put an asterisk on behavioral health, as we all know. There's a strong shortage of providers, but again, therapists, psychiatry, peer support specialists, peer support specialists, peer support specialists. You get that plug in 3 times. But we're talking about even dental, guys. So again, we have 11 locations. We've just opened up our Displains. So we've got Displains, Palatine, Elgin, McHenry, Franklin Park, Hanover Park, and Streamwood. If you want a card, get one from me after. We all know somebody that might not have insurance, might not be documented, might need some health care, and would love to connect those dots.
And they don't need to belong to this community or live
and again, there's no restrictions on that. You come in and you just you can what information you can. We're on a complete sliding scale. We never take someone to collections. There are no insurance minimum requirements, and I do speak highly of the providers that work there. People always kind of wonder, how do you get amazing providers at a federally qualified healthcare center? And the perks are they get loan repayment. So we get some, exactly, right? So we get some amazing doctors on long-term contracts. Because again, they're not only getting paid a salary, but they're getting they're getting a forgiveness on a large chunk of loan. And I get to see these providers, they really care about the members that they serve. And so just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you. So my only announcement is the Payne County ROSC Council. It's up there for everyone to see. There's some flyers in the back as well. It will be October the 23rd. Anyone that can be there in person or virtually, we would appreciate your presence and attendance. Thank you, Marcos. If there's any questions in our virtual world, we are here. If anyone has any comments, anybody wants to announce anything, please let us know. We're looking for that virtual hand. Any virtual hands? Any takers? No.
We got Magdalena.
Oh, Magdalena, thank you.
Hello, everyone. Great job, Blake. That was very informative. I really enjoyed your presentation. My name is Magdalena Campos. I am the program coordinator with Heart Life Ministries Recovery 180. We are the Kankakee, Grundy, and Will County ROSC. I just wanted to let you guys know that we did have a very successful all Spanish Narcan training yesterday in Chicago with collaboration with Hero. So if you guys are in need of an all Spanish or maybe just a translated Narcan training, we will be more than happy to come out and do this for you. So I just wanted to announce that. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Magdalena. We appreciate it.
And Judith.
There you go. I put in the chat, Judy Lucas, DuPage County Coroner, for those who don't know me. I put in the chat a link there's a veteran and court, like a graduation court on Friday, 12 noon. This keynote speaker sounds like it may be something that'd be interesting if anybody wants to Zoom to watch this. I haven't heard him before, but I've heard that he has worked with a lot of community with mental health, substance use problems. So I think even if you're not a veteran, you may benefit it. I just kind of wanted to put it out there. And then there's something specifically on mental health and the I'm sorry that the woman that you just spoke, was that Maggie? All right, well, that made me think of, well, I didn't put this in the chat, there is okay. Ooh, all right, so when Black Hawk helicopters rappel down and take children off the street and break into apartments in the middle of the night and zip tie kids, that increases mental health problems for everyone. And we know a lot of times substance use is self-medicating based on the mental health problems. And unfortunately, in the coroner's office, we have actually seen the end result of the stress community, in the Latino community. So I will put in the chat, there is tomorrow at 7:00 p.m., there is a mental health seminar in Spanish. While it does not address substance use specifically, it does, it's called Know Your Rights. And it may be something that, Maggie, if you're able to share that, if anybody else can share that, I would appreciate it because, I look at a multi-pronged focus and I want to keep people out of this office, okay? Unless you're coming in on a tour. So I'll put that in the chat and then if anybody has any questions, reach out to me.
Thank you, Judah, for sharing that with us. I'll let you know that.
All right.
So we thank everyone for joining us. We appreciate everyone for taking out the time for being here today. And with that, we will adjourn this meeting.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Good
you,
job.
everyone.
So, believe it or not, I'm speaking in St. Louis this month.
Oh, nice.
At the Leadership Conference for Federally Qualified Healthcare Centers.
I might, but write it down. Well, actually, I probably don't because my laptop got destroyed in that.
Of course we are, right? I mean, again, thank God for the CRSS, but I mean, again, too, we lose how many millions of patients and, yeah, it's.